Here is the Avast Security News Roundup for the week ending July 9th, 2021. Twitter considers new security features. Twitter People Experience designer Lena Amara tweeted 4 new Twitter security features concepts, asking users for feedback on whether or not they should move into development. Privacy is one of those things everyone wants, but it's not a one-size-fits-all, Amara tweeted. Before going into details on each idea, the first idea, replies, gives users an easy way to make their tweets public if they like to make a response to a non-follower viewable. The second idea, account breadcrumbs, provides easy and quick switching between multiple profiles. Privacy sets allows users to pick from various security presets depending on their needs. The final idea, discover me or not, alerts users when someone searches their username. It also lets users choose whether or not they'd like to be found that way. These are just ideas and not being built yet, so your feedback is helpful, Amara wrote. Avast security evangelist Louis Carones reminds users that they should keep their expectations in check, as a user having more options to control your privacy is desirable and a good move, he said. But in this case, it seems that they are thinking about making it easy to switch off or pause your privacy settings when, for example, replying to non-followers. Let's be honest, a social network is the opposite of privacy, so we had better be extremely cautious whenever we use them. Avast discovers malware in Mongolia. Researchers at Avast found that a public web server hosted by MonPass, a certification authority in Mongolia, had been compromised to secretly spread malware to unsuspecting users through a malicious installer. The installer utilized the legitimate installer, guaranteeing that everything would look normal to the user, but added an unsigned PE file which then retrieved Cobalt Strike binaries from the web. Cobalt Strike is a security testing tool, but bad actors can abuse it to deploy malware or exfiltrate data. Avast released an analysis of the discovery when MonPass confirmed it had taken steps to address the issue. For more on this story, see ZDNet. Audacity audio now turns out not to be spyware. Over the weekend, a couple of tech news websites warned users about popular open source audio editor Audacity, claiming the app's new policy of collecting telemetry is overreaching and vague, and likened it to spyware. According to Ars Technica, the negativity seems to have both massively overblown and quite late. New Audacity owner Muse Group alerted users to the new policy of collecting telemetry back on May 4th. At that time, the data collection was presented as activated by default with an opt-out feature. Immediate pushback from the Audacity community convinced Muse Group to amend their policy 3 days later, saying that it would instead be deactivated by default with an opt-in feature. Also, Ars Technica adds, the data being collected is hardly different from that collected by other standard apps. Pro-Trump site Gettr hacked on the day of launch. On July 4th, the official launch day of former President Donald Trump's Twitter lookalike app Gettr, the platform was hacked. The accounts of Mike Pompeo, Steve Bannon, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Gettr CEO Jason Miller were among those that had been taken over and replaced with pro-Palestinian messages. The hack lasted less than 90 minutes, and the hacker told Business Insider that he did it simply because it was easy. taking only about 20 minutes of work. He said that while Gettr had fixed the bug he had used to infiltrate the platform, it was still easy for anyone to scrape personal data from that site. They should not publish the website before making sure that everything, or at least almost everything, is secure, he said. Wi-Fi network names can disable Wi-Fi on iOS devices. Security researcher Carl Shu discovered that certain Wi-Fi networks that contain a percentage symbol in their names can disable the Wi-Fi function in iOS devices. Even after resetting network settings, Shu found the bug can continue to render Wi-Fi services unusable. 9to5Mac suggested the reason is because the percentage symbol is commonly used to format variables into an output string. Therefore, the Wi-Fi subsystem might read the network name and pass it to an internal library of string formatting, thus causing a memory write and buffer overflow, and the killing of the process. Apple has not commented on the bug yet. For more on this, see The Verge. Whose data is this anyway? Recently, Avast writer David Strom wrote about data brokers. The experience highlighted the fact that we don't have full control over our personal info and data. David wrote, "Recently I tried to remove my own data and found it to be a very frustrating online rabbit hole. You will find either tasks to be nearly impossible, and sadly, this is by intent and by design. They charge by the gigabyte and aren't paid for being accurate. And you don't pay them anything, so you aren't really the customer. You are just the unwilling victim." Find out more at the link. Find out more at the following link. And that wraps up this week's Avast Security News Roundup. Stay safe, stay secure. I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.